Did you hear old Crooked Leg has scurvy?
I did. He is unfortunate to have caught scurvy.
Indeed. And you know what I was wondering?
What was that, matey?
I always thought Ragavan was a goblin from Ixalan. Bro's just a monkey from Kaladesh.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. He looks like an Ixalan goblin.
Wizards should have been more specific.
I mean, it's on the typing. Hey guys, we're the Treasure Crew. We talk about magic.
We do. A lot.
Yeah, I'm Eli.
I'm Austin.
And this is the Treasure Vault.
From it.
This is from the Treasure Vault.
We are speaking from the Treasure Vault.
We are in the Treasure Vault. You can tell because of our
treasure.
Currently limited treasure that will grow with time.
There's not a lot. We're going to get bits and bobbles.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them.
Yes.
Like Urzas.
Yes.
And Mishras. And ones that are vexing.
Yes.
It'll be a good time.
Yes. So we're here to talk about magic. Hopefully you figured that out by now. We play a lot of magic, but today specifically we're going to tell you how we got into magic, what we do in magic now, kind of some vague opinions of the game overall.
A lot of introductory stuff. We're going to ease you in.
Yep. And then in the future we'll get into more specific topics, set reviews, talking about metagames, all that kind of stuff. Tournament reports.
Specific formats and things.
Yep.
All that good stuff.
Yes. So let's just get right into it. Austin, how did we get into magic?
Okay, so this is
The Gathering.
Well, certainly wasn't Magic the Separation. This was mid 2020-ish, 2021.
Mid the separation.
Yeah, of COVID-19, the pandemic, where everything was really cheap and it was easier to get into this game. Anyway, so Eli and I, we hung out every Wednesday during the pandemic, and I had been to this card shop the day prior to when we hung out. And this game store was pretty cool. The guy at the counter was a really cool guy, really was helpful at getting people into the game and the community and whatnot. And I didn't have a hobby, like a really, like just a big hobby. Like I play video games and whatnot. So I thought this would be a really cool thing to get into. And so I told Eli, we should try this again. And Eli, you've had a prior experience with Magic.
I've been very, very casually playing Magic, like tabletop. I didn't know competitive existed for a few years before this, but I was never really into it.
Yeah. But I got him. We came to the store. We kind of introduced Eli into it as well. And then we bought pre-constructed decks, actually. We didn't start buying singles yet. We bought the we went to Barnes & Noble and had a pre-constructed deck.
Yep.
And so that's
the
how we started.
Planeswalker decks, you remember those?
Oh, yeah, it was the Planeswalker deck. So we started with those. Those they don't make those anymore, but
thank God.
They're not great. But we did that, and then we started, and the format we really got into was Pioneer, because the way it was explained to me at the time, the community in our area played Pioneer, and they played Commander. There wasn't really a modern following at that point yet. So we got into Pioneer and played that for the considerable future.
That was probably at least 2 years, right?
1 year.
1 year? It felt like a long time.
It did, because we shifted over when 2021 hit with Modern Horizons too.
So I'd say Pioneer was really our first introduction into competitive Magic.
Oh yeah.
So let's stop there for a minute and talk about it. What was the first deck you got there?
In Pioneer?
Yeah, in Pioneer.
I thought green and blue were really cool colors at the time as a small new Magic player. And I just thought lands and blue cards were cool. So it was a really bad, just Simic, like mid-range value deck, Pioneer deck. It wasn't following a definitive archetype, but the first expensive card I ever bought, and he was still legal in the format, was Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath.
Whew.
Carried the deck, by the way.
I did not like this card at that time.
No,
I still don't.
There were a lot of people who didn't like this card at the time, because he did in Pioneer, nothing killed him. It's like Fatal Push him. Oh, he back already, and there was not a lot of good exile-based removal in that format. So there was Uro, and also like 2 Hydroid Crasises were the backbone of that deck. I love those cards.
Yeah.
They're so cool. I drew cards and put lands on the field, baby.
Yeah. To give a little more like time context, would you say that us getting into Pioneer was kind of like somewhere between Ikoria and Zendikar Rising?
Yes, because the first set that released after we started playing was Zendikar Rising.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just giving a little more context there. Anything else on that original deck you had?
That first one, no, those are the 2 memorable cards from that deck. It's also why I bought my first play set of Shocks. They were 4 breeding pools.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the first of how I spent a lot of money on Magic cards for the first time. Also,
That's funny. I remember the first time I was like, man, I'm spending some kind of money on this. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So I'll go ahead and name drop Corey. He's part of the crew.
oh, okay. I
He's-
didn't know if we were name dropping.
Yeah, it's fine. Corey wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Corey, if you're watching this and you mind, okay. Leave us an angry comment.
He doesn't mind.
I know.
He'll leave us an angry
I know.
comment.
He's
for
part of the
funnies.
crew. He's not on the ship at the moment. He's in the base somewhere.
He's in the high seas.
Yep. He's on a solo op.
He is.
But yeah. So Corey was the manager, not the manager. Yeah, the manager.
He was the manager.
Yeah, he was the manager at this game store that we went to, and he helped us build our first decks. I don't know how much he helped you, but he helped me. He built my deck.
He also did that. I remember he pointed out Migratory Greathorn as a solid card,
Yeah.
and I thought, yeah,
Ooh, good times.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I went up to him after you originally talked to him. You know, like, you gotta meet this guy, Corey. He'll help you build your deck. I went up and he was like, "Hey man, what kind of deck do you want to build?" And I was like, "I don't know much about the game. I know green has really big creatures that are kind of threatening, and I know black brings stuff back from the graveyard. So how can you possibly go wrong with recurable massive threats?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay, we can work with that." And that's literally what we did. My first deck consisted of playing Rotting Regisaur as soon as possible, and playing things like Driven to Despair, which gives it overrun effects, gives it flying, all that stuff. That deck was a lot of fun.
And you had the enchantment.
Oh yeah, Demonic Embrace or Demon's Embrace or something.
Demonic Embrace.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What a good card.
Yeah, that was a fun deck.
I
There's been
agree.
a few times I've thought about throwing it back together just to play it.
To be fair, I think that was probably one of the more cohesive strategies that came out of us
Yeah.
getting into the game. It's just we didn't know sequencing or like anything about actually correctly playing the game.
I wish I could, for like 1 week, go back to playing Pioneer in that time frame with the knowledge I have now.
That would be so funny.
That'd be crazy.
We would win a lot.
Dude, you guys were better than me. I was fucking ass at Pioneer. I'm no stud in Modern, but I know what I'm doing. In Pioneer, I was clueless.
Well, we really didn't have any, like, none of us had any idea what we were doing.
Yeah. Oh, that was crazy. So what?
It just helped that I played a recurable 6/6
Yeah.
at every turn.
Yeah. So did that deck for you evolve into anything else as we went through Pioneer?
The terrible green deck, the terrible Simic deck.
Yeah.
No, because the deck that I was really excited to build after that was Esper Control.
I vaguely remember you like starting to grow interest in Control.
And this was a weird variant of Control. It wasn't like traditional blue white splashing black. I mean, it probably splashed black, but it was a Yorion focused flicker deck. So you would have enchantments like Kaya, not Kaya's Guile.
I remember that.
Oath of Kaya, Trial of Ambition, Doom Foretold. I think I had tried at one point. Oath of the Sea, and you would play all these, and you'd still have like Fatal Push and Supreme Verdict, and you would, I believe, 3-mana Teferi was legal in Pioneer at the time.
So I remember you building this now that you've said a couple cards, especially Oath of Kaya. For some reason, that really jogged my memory. I think that's the reason I hate Control, is because you put that early seed in there. I was like, this shit fucking sucks.
I was not good at playing it, but
Hey, you good enough to make me mad.
well, when you Yorion and blink 4 enchantments,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And also, he's a 4/5 flyer, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's always in your hand.
Yeah.
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 Good. Yeah. I mean, I at that point when I built the deck, I knew enough to pilot it somewhat well.
Isn't that crazy? Yorion was in a format we played.
He was in 2.
I know, but that, like, do you remember that? That's wild. That feels like so long
It
ago.
does. It is 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Wild. You remember when Luris was legal?
In
Pioneer?
no,
Was he not? Am I misremembering?
he was in Modern. He was legal in Modern. She was legal
That
in
might
Modern.
be what I'm thinking about. I thought Luris was
Because
in Pioneer
Death
for a
Shadow
time.
was the best deck in the format when Luris was
No,
legal.
yeah, it was, because remember they made those Pioneer precons and one of them had Luris.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we also worked in the game store for a little while, which we'll get to down the line, but that's giving context to what I just said.
Yeah.
There was a
Okay.
pre-con
I
that we know
remember now.
about
Yeah,
because there was
2
Luris in
busted companions, both legal in that format.
Yeah.
The only good ones. Sometimes Gigantha's okay.
Obosh is fun.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
That-
move on from that now.
That's the qualifier.
Yeah. So yeah, did you have anything else in Pioneer? Because
Yeah.
my deck evolved into something, but I only went in one direction. So if you, I don't remember how many decks you had, but you can go ahead and hit all the bases.
I'm really bad at sticking to one thing. There's an exception to that, and we'll get to it when we get to Modern. But in Pioneer, I would just see something cool and decide to build it. And thankfully, I didn't develop a spending habit until I started playing this game, which allowed me to spend a lot of money on this game. I played the green-blue deck, which eventually I built Sultai Control out of that, I guess. But that was after I played Esper. So Esper Control, Sultai Control, Blue-Red Prowess, or kind of a hybrid between Prowess and Burn. It was weird. There were some cool cards in there. I wish Lightning Bolt was legal in Pioneer. And then there was one more. No, I never tried a Collected Company deck. I think I almost built Spirits once.
I lied. There was at least 2 decks that I went into in Pioneer. You've jogged my memory.
Care to share?
Sure. So, my Rotting Regisaur deck eventually evolved into Golgari Delirium, which was cool. This was like the main deck I played in
I
Pioneer.
remember.
Yeah, with Grim Flare, Satyr Wayfinder, Emrakul, that I'm almost positive I didn't cast once.
No, you did cast it at least
Did I?
one time.
Okay.
Because I conceded to it.
That's really funny. I think I do vaguely remember that now. That's funny. I did not cast it often. I was not.
playing Esper.
I was so bad at piloting that deck. I remember being like, this deck has to be bad. Looking back, I'm like, no, dude. Because I remember we'll get back into this later in a minute too. But we went to a tournament one time and Nikolai was playing it and he crushed me. And I was like, the deck can do that? The deck can just win like that?
That's crazy.
It was upgrading into this deck was the first time where I was like, I'm spending money on this fucking cardboard. It was Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, Assassin's
which
Trophy.
They were somewhere between $12 and $20 at the time, which is crazy because now they've gotten like 17 reprints in the past 2 years.
They're like $3.
Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
Same with Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, I had to buy Abrupt Decays too. And then I remember the start to my pack pulling legacy is one time I was like, I need one more Overgrown Tomb. I bought 1 pack of Guilds and I pulled it. Or whichever one. I'm pretty sure it's in Guilds.
Yeah.
And I pulled it. I was like, this shit's awesome. And so that's where my pack pulling legacy started.
It's a dangerous game you played there.
It is. I love gambling. But then I had another deck that I only remember playing this in a tournament once. And it was a tournament that you and Corey were working.
Oh, for Pioneer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was Golgari Coco. It just used like Garuk's Harbinger, Questing Beast was in there. You can't get Questing Beast with Coco, but you know.
A good card, though.
All the Steel Leaf Champion.
Yep.
All the good
this.
Golgari 3-drops from the time.
I remember this.
Rotting Regisaur was back.
I remember that deck
Yeah.
because I played against it. That was the only other deck that you played.
Yeah, that was another time. I bought those Cocos for $30 a piece.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was rough. And now they're never going back up to that price.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I played Mono Black Aggro because I remember we played.
I remember that. Yeah.
That deck's a lot of fun. Not good anymore, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so then let's. You have any more things on the decks of our Pioneer career?
Not really. We went to that. We can cover that tournament.
Yeah, that's what I was about to go into. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
So
this was our first competitive tournament, right?
We've been to locals, and locals are fine and cool, and we got to practice and whatnot. But yeah, we went to. This was in a smaller town, Corey's hometown, about 2 hours away.
Yeah, about 2 hours
from us, and we were really stoked for this tournament.
We were. There was 4 of us going up there in one car, right?
Yes, it was Eli, myself, our friend Alex, and then our other friend Tyler. Tyler still plays with us.
And this was like right after Coldheim had released.
This was I believe the pre-release weekend.
Yeah, this was either pre-release or release.
Or release weekend.
Because I remember the pre-release kits.
We bought like 3 boxes of that set.
Yeah, we bought a lot of Coldheim.
At release, but we went and played, and we all piled up in a car and we went, and it was a good time.
We got there 2 hours early.
We did. We sat around and did.
Someone let me calculate the time change for some reason.
We went and got bad food.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive into this real quick. There was this place that Corey was hyping up, and we're like, okay, yeah, let's check it out. And we got there early. And I was like, guys, let's just go grab lunch there. We go. It's this hot dog place. We all get our chili dogs. I get a milkshake. Not a single thing there was good. It was all dick shit.
It was not a good time.
It was not good.
No.
It was bad.
We bring this up to Corey, and he's like, no.
I'm pretty sure he was like, that's not where I told you to go.
It is.
Like, I think he said something about Salmon's, and then the place is called Salmon's. And then he was like,
Pals.
Yeah,
Pals is the
Pals
place
is
he
good.
meant.
Pals is good. But he told us something about Salmon's.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I wouldn't have known the name to go there.
Yeah. It's fine. Tangent completed. But we went and got food, and we started, and we were a little nervous.
Yeah.
I think. I remember mini tournament report, because I don't really remember any of my matchups except the first one. I played against our Thaniel on Jeskai Humans, because I remember... No, Jeskai Midrange, because I specifically remember getting beat down by 2 Mantis Riders, which is not a card you will ever see ever. Oh, and I remember my burn spell getting spell quellered, and I went, wow, this sucks. And then he played a 3-mana Teferi, and I went, wow, I want to die. My poor aggro deck is not winning.
Well, now. The only match I remember from that was playing against Nikolai and him beating my fucking ass.
Yeah. Let's see. I played against Stephen, and he...
Stephen Pei, our good friend.
Yeah. Not gonna drop any last names.
That's Pei, Peigh, by the way.
Oh. Anyway, so he was playing blue-white, like traditional blue-white. And my first major lesson as a Magic player occurred here, because I went Swift Spear, Sprite Dragon, Burn Spell, Swing, Hellbent, so no cards in hand. Turn passes to him. He goes Verdict, and I went, oh, I lose the game now. I did beat him in game 3. I did win that game, which I was so surprised, because he was playing 9 lives. Don't remember how I got around that card as a prowess deck, but it was like that was a big Magic lesson that I learned. Don't play to the don't overplay into the board against your opponent who plays board wipes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I remember I got 17th in that tournament, which was about half, and I was my ego was large.
Yeah, you did the best of all of us, right?
I did.
This was
Tyler.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that too.
Go ahead.
Tyler was on an Azorius, or was it Bant?
Bant.
It was Bant. He was on a Bant Ensoul artifact deck with clue tokens and stuff.
It was so
This
bad.
dude is a dick rider of 3 things: Bant, clues, and going to turns. And they all originated at this event.
It did.
He went to turns.
Every round.
It was every round.
Every round, he went to turns.
Yeah.
It was not a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Yeah, it was fine.
He had a good time too. Nobody had a good time waiting on him.
Yeah.
No offense, Tyler.
And then after the event ended, we just bought a fuck ton of pre-release kits. And I remember the store was taking singles, so Tyler would open his pre-release kit, get enough value out of it to buy another pre-release kit, and go to the counter, sell them, and buy another pre-release kit with the credit. He did that like 3 or 4 times.
Tyler. Oh man, that's funny.
So if you're opening a game store, this is why you don't buy singles on pre-release weekend.
I'll do it.
Yeah, it's the prices need to settle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an important.
Nothing in Coldheim is worth a pre-release kit.
Nope, except no. Yeah, nothing.
I mean, you'd have to pull like.
We'd
have to. You know what? You know what would get you the closest? I think, the Coma's Coil token.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's what.
because
I was gonna
that's
say.
more expensive than Coma now. Oh,
I know.
If you got a good few pathways, you might get in there.
Maybe I don't think they're played much anymore.
Yeah, but they're like $5 a piece. You get
Okay.
a full art one, maybe $7 or so. Foil, maybe $8.
Okay,
So it's possible,
maybe.
but he shouldn't have been able to cycle through as many as he did.
No, he should not have that. He was very fortunate that they were buying singles.
Tyler is also part of the crew.
He is.
He's also not on the ship with us currently.
He's not.
He's swabbing the poop deck.
He's somewhere.
It's his day to do it.
Yep. Doing the bitch work.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was like the only major event we really did for Pioneer.
Yeah,
I think, because
I agree.
they hadn't brought back RCQ.
I remember driving back from that event and us all talking about like the upcoming sets and being really excited about them. I don't remember which sets we were talking about, but I remember talking about them and be like, oh.
What was?
What came after Kaldheim? I think I remember. I did we know about the return to Kamigawa at that point?
No.
That wasn't yet?
Or they had just announced
Yeah, I was thinking because they had just announced like the next 5
I remember
sets. I
you
think.
talking about how you liked original Kamigawa.
Yeah, because I love rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
They did it. That's crazy that they
Isn't
announced it.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I remember release day of that set now.
Yeah. What came out like around that too? Because there were other things. Was that
Was
Did
it the
we know
Phyrexia
what-
stuff? Oh, we
No.
were excited for Phyrexia because we had heard
were we?
about.
Did we
yeah.
hear about that one?
Mm-hmm.
And we also heard about return to Thalia's place.
Innistrad.
Innistrad. Yeah. I remember that's what
Yeah.
Alex was really excited about.
She wasn't playing when that set released.
That's funny. Yeah. That's Pioneer.
That's Pioneer. That's the first big chunk.
What was our next phase of Magic? Did we
Modern Horizons 2.
Well, hang
baby.
on. Hang on. There's some before that. When did we start at the store while we were playing Pioneer? Like
Yes.
working there?
Yes, because Strixhaven came out. Strixhaven
I
came
forgot
out, which
about
was
that.
my first.
Yeah, you were
pre-release
because I
worked.
remember getting my box that I pre-ordered for Strixhaven from you
Yep.
before I worked there.
And then your first pre-release was Modern Horizons 2, and then we got
Really?
And then
That
because I remember
that was after Strixhaven.
Yep.
That was the next set.
Yep.
That's wild. That does not line up like that at all in my head.
Mm-mm. It's the one that was
Seriously?
right after. Yep.
What?
2021, baby.
What? When did we start playing Commander? Was that before Modern? Or was that sometime
Yes,
after?
it was before Modern.
Do we want to talk a little about? We can keep that
We
one.
can.
brief.
I don't remember much
I don't either. I remember.
because we didn't do any Commander tournaments.
Yeah, we didn't do Commander tournaments. It was all just casual at Corey's house or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
casual is one word for it.
yeah. So my deck, at least my first deck, was Nethroi.
Yeah.
He's
Apex of Death.
yeah.
He brought stuff back.
And that was when I was like, Reanimator's awesome. I love Abzan. I'm the Golgari Abzan guy. I love those colors. They are the greatest ever. And this is where that started. The Abzan specifically. Golgari I was already on because of Pioneer. But I'm pretty sure that wasn't my first deck. That's what I built when I finally decided to build something myself. Before that, I had the Jirid Precon. Because I went to CM Games and I bought it.
Oh yeah, and I had the Savine, the Jeskai dude.
Yeah.
Because 2 years down the line, I went through that pre-con and I found a dockside.
Ooh,
And I
nice.
sold it. But
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
know
baby.
Crazy how I didn't know how expensive dockside was when I bought that pre-con.
See, there's the thing. Dockside kind of looks like a monkey, but he's an Ixalan goblin.
He is.
Ragavan, I think, is supposed to be an Ixalan goblin, but they were like, oh,
It's a psyop.
we need a pirate monkey for this pirate ship on Kaladesh. Well, I mean, we have this idea for a legendary pirate monkey, but he's supposed to be on Ixalan. He doesn't look like a monkey. And they're like, yeah, he does. And they're like, oh yeah, these goblins do look like monkeys. I'm pretty sure that's a hate crime, but they were like, let's run with it.
There's one glaring issue.
What?
Kari Zev from the original Ixalan makes a Ragavan token.
And what's that Ragavan token look like?
Alright, whatever.
But yeah, no, off that tangent. Yeah, so I had the Naya Jirid precon, and then I evolved into Nethroi.
Yep.
And at some point down the line, I got into Gitrog.
CED8.
Yeah, that was that.
Down
And
the
then
line.
I've got a couple other decks, but we'll do an update on our commander decks at some point in the future. I'm sure that'll be a good episode idea.
What did
or
I
something.
have first? Because
I
there's
think
2 casual
I
commander
think-
decks that I have had.
I think it was the Locust God. I
Oh.
think that was the first one.
Yes, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Locust got. Now, speaking of recursion, I was like, Commander tax? This is bullshit. And I saw the Locust God. And I was like, 6 mana, that's a lot. And then I read the text box and I went, oh, he just goes back to my hand at every end step if he's in the yard? That's fantastic. So I built the Locust God deck. And I really liked wheeling and dealing my cards.
Oh yeah.
I should have been a Nekazar player.
I remember-
but I wasn't that cringe.
I remember being mad about this. Was that the deck when you Narset's reversal
Well,
by
it's
Cultivate?
only the blue deck. It's the
Yeah.
only blue deck I played.
Fucking, I was low on lands.
Well,
I finally
the
drawn.
other 2 were knocked out. Vince and Corey
This
were
was
knocked out.
early in the game. There's no way.
No, this was the no.
Well, then I was off. Then I didn't have 3 lands for like that whole game.
You were like really bad.
So it took so long for me to get my 3rd land that the other 2 were already out of the game. I cast.
They let you get your 3rd one. They let you tutor it out of your.
I
deck.
know. I casted Cultivate, right? It was Cultivate. And this motherfucker, Narset reversals it. And I'm like, really? They are dead. I don't have enough mana to cast a single card in my deck. What the fuck, dude?
Let's just say I didn't really understand the spirit.
Let's just say
I didn't. Let's just say I didn't understand the spirit of casual commander. I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, this probably wins me the game. Lol.
That's I also remember working at this store and being like, hey man, you should buy that Wheel of Fortune in the case for Locust God.
I should have. That would have been baller. Because I thought about buying it for Joyra when I got into CEDH, which is what Locust God morphed into. The other deck I had was from Kaldheim, Svella Ice something. And
was that deck Klothys at one point?
no.
Okay.
It had Klothys
Was
in
it
it.
Xenagos?
Almost.
Or was that after? Okay.
Xenagos was in it. Both of those cards were in it. This deck was sick because I like casting big dumb creatures also. And I thought, well, if I can't do it in Pioneer, I'm going to do it in Commander. And so I just made my little mana rocks with Svella, and then I revealed the top cards of my library with whatever Svella's other ability was. And I probably could have built that deck a little bit more optimally, but it's okay because I played big dumb creatures and it was awesome.
Nah, it's fine. Yeah, all right. I mean, that was pretty much Commander. Again, we'll probably delve into our modern Commander decks at some point. You don't really have many, but
I have I can recount.
okay. Yeah. Well, then in the future, at some point, we might do that for an episode if we run out of ideas of other things, which I don't think we will for a while.
Yeah.
So you have time to build up your Commander collection.
I do. I could proxy my Commander deck.
Yeah. Proxy, baby. We love proxies.
We used to
love
not like it, but now we
proxies!
do.
So, the professor always says buy singles.
Yeah.
No, buy packs and just proxy the cards you want.
Let's go.
It's more fun. You get what you want, and you get to scratch the gambling itch that never goes away.
Unless you're playing a sanctioned format by Wizards, in which case your cards have to be real. But if you're playing Commander...
If you don't get into the top 8, they are not guaranteed to deck check you. But what's the point of playing if you're not getting
I'm
the top
not
egg?
endorsing that.
I'm not
so-
either. Don't
Okay.
cheat. If you cheat, you're a scum. Okay? Don't
Yeah.
do it. But if you're really broke and you just need
you
to get
need-
some reps in,
And you need a volcanic island.
yeah. 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 Don't cheat. That was a joke.
Yeah.
No, the don't cheat was not a joke. The joke was telling you to
You got
cheat.
it.
Okay.
Tangent complete.
Yeah. So, Modern Horizons 2.
Oh yeah, this was a total.
This set was wild.
This was a tonal shift in our play experience.
Working at the store when
That was a tonal shift.
yeah, when a set came out, you could get a pre-release kit for free if you worked the event. At this one, since the pre-release kits were more expensive, we could buy them half off.
Yep. I bought 3.
We bought so many.
I bought 3 kits, and Corey was fine with that. And the owner was like, Austin, this is like the last one. You can't do it again. I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll buy them at full price now.
yeah. We changed half price to 2 for 1,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
But you hadn't, but I had started getting into Modern right before, because I built Burn, because Burn is cheap and whatever. And Heliod and Prowess were the 2 best decks. Is it Prowess? And I remember also learning about the stack and about playing instants, because I could play at instant speed because I've played tempo decks before. I played Mono Blue and Pioneer for a little bit. And but I remember I was playing against Heliod Company, and the pilot attempted to go off on his own end step, and I thought it was I misread when he was doing it, and I skull cracked, and then he just won when it went to his turn. Oh, he did it on my end step. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, I mistimed this. I should have held this skull crack. So pay attention to when in the turn you are, because I thought he passed. I thought the turn had passed, and it didn't. It's fine. That didn't matter because I don't even think it was just locals. It was just modern locals. That deck was cool.
I had I don't know how at the beginning of Modern started, because I had a couple decks. I remember the deck I started on. Are we there? We're at that point,
We're
right?
in modern.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
MH2 was what got us into modern because the fetches all got cheap.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really confused on this timeline right here. This part's really weird for me. My first modern deck was Abzan mid-range.
It took you a lot longer to get into modern. I had to
No, but I know, but that's why I'm confused, because I played 2 different decks before our first modern tournament. I played Abzan mid-range, which in 2016 would have been awesome. It had Siege Rhino, Lingering Souls, Kaya's Guile?
Well, that wasn't in 2016, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know.
Good card. I
yeah.
love that card.
It was an awesome deck. It didn't win, which was either because of the card selection or me, or probably a little bit of both. I remember one of the guys in the community saw me playing, and he was like, that card's really bad, but I like that to see that someone's playing it. I was like, I'm going to cry.
That's so sad. No.
He's Italian.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to name drop him because I think this would be funny, and I
Okay,
think
all right.
fuck you, PG, but that's really funny, by the way.
Yeah. And then at some point, Corey convinced me to build into Golgari Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Which just used...
This was before... Well, that's what you took to the first tournament.
Yeah. And that was Elvish Reclaimer, Golgari Rock Farm, Urza Saga.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Just
crazy how you played Saga
kind of
before
stuff.
I did.
Yeah. Indeed. And now I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saga's so epic.
It's kind of mid.
Well, now it is because Wrath of the Skies fucking exists.
Holy shit, that hits it. Does
sure
it?
Yep.
What the hell?
For freezies.
It doesn't say non-lands?
Nope. No. Well, it's
It says the permanent types
Yeah.
without non-land. Okay. I see. I get it.
I hate Wrath of the Skies so much.
Yeah, because today we were playing and Gabe got Wrath of the Skies and they're like, by the way, your Dryad Arbor dies. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that's me caught up to our first tournament. Are you caught up to our first tournament?
No.
All right, catch up.
I had Burn, and then I had S for Control, but in Modern. And I got to play Fatal Push, Path. I got to play Counterspell. I got to play Kaya, 3-mana Kaya. I played Prismatic Ending, Little Teferi, Big Teferi, and Jace. I was so excited to play Jace
I
the
remember,
Mindstormer.
dude.
I was like, oh my god, I get to brainstorm. I didn't know how to brainstorm effectively. I didn't know to hold up a fetch when I was brainstorming. But oh my god, I loved playing that deck.
Oh.
That was so fun. Kaya's Guile also went into that deck. I really like Kaya's Guile.
It is a cool
I remember winning a game because I entwined to Kaya's Guile. Awesome. And then I built I built a lot of Modern decks. I don't even remember all of the ones that I've put together because I've also taken them apart and sold them a lot. But catching up to the first tournament, I built Teamer Rhinos, baby. One of the first iterations.
I remember.
And I remember because Corey at the time, he said, you need to pick something that is easy to play because this is your first big tournament and you are going to melt your brain. And I was like, okay, this one time I'll take your advice.
To give context, the tournament we went to in Pioneer was probably like a 50-person tournament.
Yeah, that's
somewhere around
correct.
there. And this was an SCG con we were going to for our first Modern event, which is...
Well, big Modern event, yeah.
Yeah, which is like...
I'm not going to
how
count
many people?
A lot. It was 400.
400.
At that
so
one,
it's a big step up.
because it was the first ever one that they did.
Oh, yeah, since COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a little more context to what
Well, are we just
going
to jump into the tournament?
Well, no, so here's why I'm even more confused about the timeline now. There was another Modern deck I played before the tournament. 8-Whack.
Well, you didn't really play that one.
No.
That was your very first. That was the very first thing you played because you needed something budget.
Yeah.
You played it like
Yeah.
twice.
No, I played it more than twice. Because I remember playing it and being like...
But there was several amount of locals before at the first SCG Con.
Yeah.
Because it was still mid-pandemic in
But I
2021.
feel...
We didn't start going until 2022,
Yeah, but
I think.
I feel like, first, in my head, I played each of these decks for a certain amount of time, except the Rock. The Rock, I think I played the shortest out of any deck
You did.
I've
You played it like for the tournament.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit before and after.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, this 8-Whack was fucked up. It's 11:15. It's 45 minutes until my bedtime. That's what that noise means.
Oh, okay.
This 8-Whack was fucked up. It used Pact of the Titan.
Yeah. It was not traditional.
With no intent to ever pay it. You have to play it and win on that turn. If you don't, you don't.
Good luck.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I'm saying on that. We can go into that first tournament now.
You don't want to say the story that Corey likes to talk about?
I forgot about that. So I'm not good at mulliganing, but I was worse. I had this deck, and Corey and maybe Austin were
he called me
spectating.
over.
And I had this hand that I decided to mulligan. And after the game, which I almost definitely lost, Corey was like, dude, you mulled 20 damage out
It was
of your
17
hand.
damage.
17?
That
Okay.
wasn't 20 damage.
So it was like a game worth of damage that was in my opening hand. I don't remember the hand. I don't remember my thinking about why I mulled it, but I sure did.
Had a Bone Crusher Giant in it. And like a Lightning Bolt or something. And then like a Foundry Street with 2 Pact of the Titans or some shit. They're good cards. And probably your Haster or whatever. I don't remember.
Red cards.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go our first tournament now.
You want to lead into this one too? Or you want me to?
I don't remember how it came about of us going into it. I'm sure it was something about you bringing it up.
Yes, because I saw it because Duncan...
We haven't talked about Duncan yet.
Duncan is somebody we didn't know very well, and this was actually our first kind of experience really getting to know Duncan.
We knew him from working at the store because he played a lot.
Yeah. He is a Scales aficionado.
Still is, but
debatably still is.
yeah.
He's top 8'd a couple times when we've gone to SCG Con, so
He is the god of the Hardened Scales Discord.
you could probably find him pretty easily, even if you don't know who we are.
Yeah.
You can find him on like MTG Top 8 and MTG Go Fish and stuff.
Yep.
Eventually, at some point, if you go to the right SCG cons.
Yeah, he's really good. Bro is got the correct autism.
He's got like the correct autism plus skill or whatever.
Yeah. Bro is intelligent.
Yeah.
Unlike me.
Anyway, I brought this up to Corey, and then Corey brought it up to Duncan, because I remember I had heard Duncan when I was behind the counter saying he really wanted to go to a big tournament again. And so I was like, okay, well, here's one. It's in Dallas, Texas, which is a very long drive for us.
Yep.
More
than 10 hours.
Yes.
And we're broke. We're not buying a plane ticket.
Nope, not at that time. And so we decided to go, not
Did we rent a car for this?
No.
Okay.
We drove.
I thought we rented a car for
the first time we did rent a car, which was
big mistake.
Maybe we should have flown.
No. I don't think
that shit sucks.
Flying's really expensive though.
It is. So we went, and Corey took Jund.
Dude, Corey, if Jund was a woman, if Jund was a man, Corey would do crazy things.
It's so true, bro. It's so true. That deck's so bad.
He loves Jund.
Corey, I don't care if you're watching. Jund's so bad. This new Jund you're playing is probably bad, and you're gonna be mad that I said that, and I don't care.
That's all Austin. I play Abzan, so you know.
Huh?
I can only say so much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You play good colors, right?
My deck's not well positioned right now, but that's not the case.
But you play every color,
point.
so it can't be that bad. You've got the best of all 5 worlds.
I guess. Anyway, so Corey takes Jund. You take Golgari midrange with Saga midrange.
Yep.
I take Teamer Rhinos. Did Duncan take Scales?
I'm pretty sure Duncan took Scales.
He took Scales. That's right. He did. So yeah, this was our first big tournament experience. This is like technically the Pioneer tournament was comp REL, but this was like actual comp REL with like judges and head judges and like a lot of them, and like multiple side events firing all the time and whatnot.
Yeah. Quickly on that subject, we dodged the DCI cards by this much.
Oh yeah.
We came right in after they got rid of DCI cards.
Oh yeah.
I remember we had DCI cards, but I never used mine.
I had one made. I lost it.
I've lost mine
like immediately the next day.
But I got it, and then I never was even asked to use it.
Yeah.
They just completely phased them out like as soon as we started playing.
They were like, here's this terrible app.
Yep.
That you have to use now, the companion app.
Go download the Magic Companion app. If you don't have it, you obviously don't play at your local game store, you piece of shit.
You need to go do it.
Go play Magic the Gathering at your locals, or you're going to be bad at this game forever.
So go download it.
Arena and MTGO do your triggers for you. You need to go play in person.
MTGO kind of does your triggers for you.
It does them more than you do them.
It's what?
It does them more than you do them. If it does than paper. The paper doesn't do the triggers at all.
True. Corey was like, remember your triggers.
Dude, I still don't remember my triggers.
I know.
Let's continue talking about the tournament.
I remember being really anxious because I really didn't want to get disqualified from a tournament.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to screw up my Cascade and Cascade too far.
Oh, yeah.
Literally would have just gotten a GRV. Would not have been an issue if I did it like one time.
Yeah.
I remember notable. I went 3-3 and then dropped. Not bad.
Which is better than I've done in a SCG Con to date.
Yeah, and then I did the Sunday tournament. I don't remember how I did. I remember a notable moment was I played Living End. That matchup for Rhinos, A, is bad, and B, is confusing. Because both decks have Force of Negation, and both decks have Violent Outburst, so both are trying to outburst on the end step, and you have to play with the Force of Negations, and it's really complicated. I beat every Living End opponent I played against. And there was another deck build, the deck construction aspect that helped me with this, and I'm going to get to it in a second, because the other notable experience I had was playing against a mill. And my mill opponent was not a happy boy. He was not a happy camper with me, because he milled me. He got me to like maybe a third of my deck left, and I went, lol, here's my 4 main deck endurances. I'll endurance myself. And he went, and after the match, he went, how many of those do you play in the main? 4. Oh, because Murktide was really big and Living End was really big, and that's probably how I also beat Living End.
Playing mill post MH2 against the green deck is suicide.
Well, they have Tasha's. Tasha's Hideous Laughter kind of helps.
Okay.
It's not... I agree. It's not good. You shouldn't register mill.
But if you like playing the deck, keep looking for more decks, because other ones are fun too.
Yeah, for real. Maybe...
But if you really want to...
Maybe play Dredge.
Just cross your fingers that you don't get paired into green decks.
Yeah. Unless it's Amulet Titan, then you win.
There you go. You guys not play Endurance?
It's... Tasha's Hideous... Dude, half the deck is lands, dog.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I forgot.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Specifically that corner case, it just doesn't
This
matter.
tournament, I remember nothing from. I remember losing.
Well, yeah, we all... Well,
Yeah,
I don't even think Duncan did that well.
I feel like...
He did okay.
Yeah, okay.
But he didn't do well. He didn't top 8.
I remember losing a hard. The best I could have done was 1-3, but I'm almost positive I 0-3.
I remember I played 4-color control and I lost terribly, and I was really mad.
And this was before we knew to farm side events when you get dropped out of the tournament, so we just sat there.
Yeah.
But it was a good experience. Obviously,
we
went back.
it was a good first tournament experience. It got me hooked. I don't know how hooked you are on
I love going to tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm not good at them, but I enjoy going to them. So, maybe I'll be good one day.
Oh, you will be. We just gotta... Corey says we have to practice, and it's really annoying when he says
I play
that.
twice a week.
He's like kind of right. There's ways we could practice better, but we do practice often. Except for me. I'm on a break right now.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do we, at this point, I guess we'll cover our thoughts after this tournament, and from there, it's pretty straightforward to the next few SCG cons, right?
Yeah, because it's just the only notable difference is that I've found the deck.
Yeah.
We found the exception to the rule.
So then after that tournament, I remember Corey was like, Eli, that didn't work. And I was like, yeah, thanks, man, because he put me on that deck.
Oh, yeah. Were you not very happy with Corey about that?
I don't remember. I feel like I wasn't, but also I don't really have a reason to be unhappy with him, because I could have just been like, no, but I didn't know better or anything about the cards, so I was like, okay. And so I sold that whole deck except one Urza Saga and the Golgari cards that I wanted to keep.
I'm pretty sure I bought the sagas off you.
Okay, well then, yeah,
maybe
those
because
may have gone.
We'll get into why I bought the sagas.
And I built Yawgmoth from there, and I've been playing Yawgmoth since. It's changed a lot, but we're playing Messenger again, so I can't complain.
Yo, yeah, baby.
I love Geralf's Messenger.
I still have played many a deck after this. I've dabbled with Murktide, Hammer, Breach combo.
It's been, 2 years since this?
Yeah, or 3.
3?
2.5 to 3.
2.5 to 3, okay.
Probably 2.5. 2.5 to 2. But I've played a lot of different stuff. But shortly after this tournament, I found the deck. And I knew this deck existed, and I was intimidated to try it. But I saw it online, I watched a video about it, and I thought, man, this deck wins on turn 2, baby. I want to win on turn 2.
Wow.
I proxied out Amulet Titan, and I played it. I said I forewent my prize support 1 locals. I didn't buy in or anything, so they let me play with proxies. Thank you, local game store I played at. And I said, I'm immediately buying all of these cards because this feels amazing, and I turn 2'd somebody that night. And then, no, I turn 3'd somebody multiple times. And then I bought the whole deck. And then I turned to somebody when all the deck was put together, and I was like, oh my god, this is like crack. This is like crack cocaine. I love playing Amulet Titan. and that is the deck that I keep going back to. If I try something else, I get bored and go back to Amulet Titan. I love making 10 mana or more and playing 6 mana 6/6s all the time. It's my favorite in Modern.
Yeah.
It's not well positioned right now.
It's fine.
It's okay. We can still turn 2 people.
So then, since then, we've gone to
A lot.
more tournaments. I don't have a
We've
ton
probably
of...
been to like 8 to 12
Yeah.
total.
I don't have too many comments on the tournaments between now and then. I know a big turning point was... what was the name of the set that Soul Cauldron came out in?
Eldraine.
Yeah, Eldraine.
Return
yeah.
the return to
the return to
Eldraine set.
Eldraine. The SCG con that was that weekend was cool because I remember I got my Cauldron signed, and that was the first time I 3-0'd a side event,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome because there were other Yawgmoth players there, and the first time I played one of them, I lost to him. I was like, man, that was a close match. And then he was in that side event, and I was like, I'm not losing this time, and I didn't. And I was like, holy shit, I can pilot this deck.
Yeah.
And you talked about confusing matchups. Try playing Yawgmoth Mirror when you both have a Cauldron out. That shit's fucking ass.
This is like
It's no
not good.
scales.
I've
but
done it
there's some
before.
math there.
I've done it before because our buddy Nolan,
Mhm.
we've had that matchup because I've tried Yogg before. I've tried a lot of Modern decks.
Yeah.
My wallet doesn't like me for that. I haven't been consistent about bringing Amulet to big events because I'll psych myself out and then not bring it.
And Corey will also help talk you out of it.
He sure will. He's only supported me bringing Amulet like twice.
Just was there ever one time where I wasn't like, you should just play what you know?
No, you say that a lot.
Yeah.
You said that every time. And I was like, no, I'm not listening to you. And then I regretted it. I should have done it every time, and I probably would have done well by now if I had. But now it's not well positioned.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, wait, I'm not going into a big event until Eternal Weekend.
I also remember another turning point playing Yawgmoth where I sat down and Enchantress just stomped me game 1, and I was mad. I was like, I'm green. You're losing. And that's all it took.
Yeah.
Bro lost.
Yeah, for real, dog. I love Force
And from
of
that
Vigor.
point forward, I was like, if you're not playing green, what are you supposed to do?
Green is
I love
epic and
green.
swag.
I love green.
Green deck players, let's go.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
I love green cards. They're my favorite.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's,
It's kind of where we are.
yeah.
Jamming Amulet and Yawgmoth. That's
Yep.
what we do, baby.
I love
I love
birthing ritual,
I
Yawgmoth.
love Malevolent Rumbling and the One Ring.
You
And
guys run
Primeval
Malevolent
Titan.
Rumble?
Huh?
You guys run Malevolent Rumble?
Sometimes.
Huh.
There are versions.
Who knew?
There are versions.
They're
that do it.
virgins?
Versions.
Oh yeah, they're playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well yeah, we're pretty much up to date now, right?
Yep.
You have some legacy experience.
I do. I love that format. If you think I love Modern, I love Legacy more, way more. It's my favorite. It's in a bad spot because Grief is still legal. It makes Reanimator really good. I played Cephalid Breakfast in that format. That deck's not good anymore. I probably am going to be switching, and it's probably going to be to Depths because I like playing with my lands in Modern, so why don't I try it in Legacy? There's a secret third option to where I build Painter, because Painter is really cool. I really like artifacts, too. Artifact and lands, baby.
I'm more of a creatures and enchantments kind of guy.
I see that. I'm noticing that.
Yeah.
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 Painter's so cool. You just spin your welders, and then things go in and out of your graveyard.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Depths is cool because you make a 20/20 indestructible flyer. Both are good into blue decks, which is going to be really good after Grief is banned on the 26th of August. Please God, Wizards ban
But
Grief.
you see, Nick Fit's cool because I can play a really bad deck and play Siege Rhino and lose, but I'm happy because I can play Siege Rhino.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with Legacy.
I looked at Nick Fit results recently. I did not find one good one.
Well, that's because I haven't played in a big tournament with Nick Fit.
True. I've been to an Eternal Weekend. That is the best Magic event I've ever been to. And I don't even... there's no chance in hell I'll ever play Vintage, but that is the coolest Magic event I've ever been to.
I've never been to a Eternal Weekend.
I'm trying to
Yet.
get this man to go.
If the budget allows.
Eli, you're not gonna like this, but if I
I love
build Painter or Depths or whatever, like if I take
don't
one
wanna
of
play
those to
stuff
Eternal
with
Weekend,
breakfast.
but you can. The option is on the table.
You want me to play blue?
I want you to do something worse. I want you to play Force of Will and Ponder. Oh well, Ponder's actually cool.
I'm gonna throw up.
You've never casted a Ponder before, and it shows. You've never casted a Brainstorm before, and it shows.
You've never played Siege Rhino in a format, and it shows.
I don't know if that's true. I might have.
I'm willing to say it is true. When would you have ever played Siege Rhino in Modern
Played
or
a lot.
Legacy?
Oh, in Legacy, no. Modern, maybe.
I don't think you have.
I might have played your mid-range deck.
That doesn't count.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much caught up. We've covered the formats we play mostly.
Yeah, and that filled out an hour pretty good.
Yeah.
So that got us further than I thought we would. If you guys have any questions about our history in Magic, or you want to know anything specific, let us know down in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know any topic suggestions you have.
Oh, yeah.
Again, in the future, we'll be going over our thoughts on sets. We'll be doing
Ban list discussions, maybe.
ban list discussions.
Because they've got, hopefully, some of those coming up.
Yeah, meta breakdowns.
Yep.
We'll do a little segment each episode where we go over our short tournament report from our locals.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll do stuff like that. So give us some more suggestions so it never gets too stale for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And,
We've got ideas, but we like to hear input.
And as we acquire more booty, the treasure vault will get a little more decked out.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, this channel is not just for this podcast. We will also be doing gameplay,
Oh, yeah.
the occasional opening,
Mm-hmm.
and
Maybe some other stuff.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw in some other stuff here and there. But that's going to be the bulk of everything we do. We'll have this gameplay and the occasional opening.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're going to try and get that consistent. We're going to try to have weekly episodes of the podcast and
Mhm.
weekly gameplays. The gameplays will vary in format.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up if you want to see us playing Commander. It might be a while before we do that. We got some more 60 card stuff we want to focus on in the meantime.
There's some logistical stuff that needs to go into Commander also.
Yeah. And also our table's not big enough.
Correct.
We have big enough tables, but
It's going to be wonky in our setup.
Yeah, so we'll figure all that out, but that's not that important right now.
No.
All you need to know is
We are here. Bless
Yeah.
you.
yeah, and so let us also know down in the comments, do you think Ragavan was supposed to be an Ixalan goblin, or is he supposed to be a Kaladesh monkey?
We need to know.
We do. Wizards,
Wizards needs to figure
tell
it out.
us.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Wizards of the Coast, comment down below.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We love you, Wizards. We will indiscriminately support your products. So
We do.
sponsor us.
We told them to get your app.
Yeah, we did. We will never slander your name. No
Give us
matter
a
how many.
preview card.
We won't even slander you if you don't ban grief.
No, okay. You won't.
All
Ban
right,
grief.
okay,
please
we're
God.
done. We're done. It's getting late. The crew mateys are waiting.
They have scurvy.
They have scurvy. Tyler's all probably done with the poop deck by now.
He is. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
There's a raid.
We got a raid.
A raid.
A raid.
A raid.
Button down the houses.
Yarg.